Welcome to this week's cinematography breakdown of the music video Electric Powder by Lydia Can't Breathe. Without further ado, let's dive on in. You know the deal, briefly breaking down the equipment and gear used in this production. Now camera-wise, we used an Ursa Mini Pro G2. We also used a Blackmagic Pocket 4K by Blackmagic Design that has a speed booster on that. And then glass-wise, we used a Viltrox 12mm, and then the rest of the glass we used was Vespid Primes by DZO Film. 25mm, 50mm, 90 macro, and 100. Those are all f2.8 Cine glass. Additionally, we used Tilta Nucleus follow focus system. We used Hollyland wireless Cosmos C1 system with the Ursa Mini Pro G2 going to a Portkeys 7-inch monitor. And then we used the FeelWorld FT6 FR6 with the Pocket 4K on Steadicam with a Tilta Steadicam system with Ronin S added on top there to kind of do 360 rolls, emulate a Trinity system, FeelWorld FT6 FR6 on there for wireless transmission, and then for wireless follow focus on that specific kit, we used Godox on-camera monitor for AC, and then I also used an iPad myself as DP, and then we used that Portkeys 7-inch monitor again with the Ursa Mini Pro G2, and for our director Marlon to view and monitor as well. Grip gear, we used about 6 or 7 C-stands, we used sandbags, we used an 8x8 frame. Lighting wise, we use a falconized light mat, we use an RE light kit, RE tungstens, 4 main light Pavo tubes, the 4-foot, we used 2 Godox TL60 tube lights, we used a Forza 200D and a Forza 60B with a LECO adapter, we used Hollyland comms kit right here, gonna be doing a review video on this soon, check it out, sick! Easy rig and tripod as other forms of stabilization. We used a hazer for atmosphere and filling in the scene. Covered camera, covered glass, directing systems. All right, you're caught up to speed. Let's dive on in. I'm sick of lying in my head. Okay, so fucking payment. Now this discussion can't leave the building. We need some butts to start the revolution. We had a couple different looks that we did here, guys. A couple different locations, but really I'm going to focus on 3 because these 3 are the ones I feel that are captivating and really had enough stylizing and elements going on where we should talk about it. The car shots and the shots at the secondary location, the boat location, predominantly all natural light, didn't really do much with lighting, and so I don't want to put a big emphasis or focus on there. Let you guys kind of come up with your own creative style of making that captivating and interesting. Now, talking about the lighting setups. First and foremost, we did a full band look. Now getting this lighting setup. We did 3 RE lights, set tungsten, 2700 Kelvin, and set those nice symmetrical in the back, 1 centered behind drums, and then 1 on each side of bass, side on bass and side on guitar. So those were like heavy key. Backlight, we're going to a heavy emphasis of backlight for this particular music video. So really letting those go on full blast and shine through the kind of, I guess, stacked metal. We used a hazer again to create atmosphere, so set that in. Our key light was the falconized light mat 4x4. Then we used an 8x8 frame in front of that to create some really nice soft key light. So we're not drowning out any of the backlight or any of the tube lights we're using for color, but we're getting a nice solid and soft key. And the cool thing and the smart thing with a soft key like that as well is that way when we're crossing a big light source like that, we're not creating any shadows on our talent, right? Because we're creating a lot of movement when we're operating the Steadicam. And then predominantly the rest of the lighting was just accent lights. So we used Pavo tube lights and kind of just laid those into the scene and setup. And those were just there again to really act as accent lights to just make the image a bit more dynamic and a bit more interesting with that added color. And then lastly, we used the Forza 60B with LECO adapter, and I just had one of my crew members, Oluwasei, literally operate that and turn that side to side and just vibe off the music. That was to create some constant unique and dynamic light that's constantly moving, it's changing, it's just very dynamic and captivating, and it makes the image a bit more interesting, right? Keeps the viewer there and interested. And that was really it for lighting, look, and setup for this, guys. Just talking about shot styles. So again, we broke down and went from capturing full band, then narrowing down and getting individual shots, focusing in on vocals with Kyle, then guitar, bass, drums, etc. So started with Steadicam, getting some really cool 360 rolls, parallaxing, pushing in and out. That's why we use the Ronin S adapter on top, so we can make some really cool 360 rolls, and really dynamic movements. After we captured those, we got some safety wides using the Easy Rig and my Ursa Mini Pro G2 for 25mm. And then from there, we moved in for tighter shots and again, getting individual focus shots. That's really it for that look, guys. Now moving on, talking about the second look, the Falcon Eyes Light Matte 4x4 and the 8x8 frame. Turn those the opposite way to face our new scene and environment. Then we use the Forza 200 and Forza 60B, hid those behind our talent and shined those up against the walls. This wasn't necessarily a planned look, but I knew as soon as I got the environment, we had to capture this. I saw all the metal, all like the foil-like insulation on the walls, and I just knew how reflective it would be. So I knew shining light out there would create such cool dynamic energy and lighting. Just one, we're strobing, but then also we're strobing and reflecting. So we're getting all these random shots and strobes and reflections everywhere. So we had those going constantly. And again, we used the 8x8 frame with the Falcon Eyes 4x4 light matte for a really nice soft key. So even when the lights are strobing or potentially all the strobes are off at the same time, we can still see Kyle. And then all we did is we had Kyle, the lead singer, climb up on top of this cool platform and just go hard, create some really cool body movement and energy, really capture that as is. Did that all with the Steadicam system because we knew by creating more movement and having more distance and depth, we can make the image that much more captivating and interesting and really, really dynamic, because we're really gonna create some overemphasized, exaggerated movements that feel super cumbersome, right? Like we're shooting this on a 12mm with a Steadicam and Ronin added, so a Trinity S system, and we're flying, you know, in and up at the same time to our talent who's creating some big movements there as well. Everything looks bigger and more grandiose when we're creating cool shots with distance, heavy movement, and wide angle lenses. So that's kind of what we did with that look there. Then the third and final look inside the warehouse, we did back behind where originally we had our backlights set up. The only difference now is we had lights shining through the opposite way, so we created some really cool side light on our talent, built the band members into the background there. We had an on-site individual who's managing the property who knew how to operate and essentially kind of cut and do metalworking. And so we had him just work with some metal in the back to create some really, really cool, badass sparks flying in the background, something we can't actually create as cinematographers, we can't do with some basic lighting gear. I look forward to hopefully getting some lighting gear like that in the future. Wang wang at vendors. But that was really, really awesome. Super cool and captivating look there. And so that was really it, guys. Again, we went heavy with the side light there. We wanted to create something that was very, very, again, edgy and dynamic. This isn't always about having the talent looking super good or super visible. This is about having more interesting, captivating, dynamic energy, right? Like we know with the full band shot, that full wide, as well as the individuals, that's our key driving force, right? Like that's the performance we're gonna see throughout the video. It's gonna probably take up the bulk of the video, intermixed with story and these other looks. So it's more so important that these other looks add energy, add dynamicism to the story, to the overall video, not necessarily that they need to be like super clean and well lit and seen. I mean, they need to be well lit, but you get the idea. Like it's more important that we're using these to enhance the user experience, and so we did exactly that. Those were really the various lighting setups, the different lighting gear we used, cameras we used, and all those goods. If I miss anything, guys, which I probably am, I'm only human, okay? If that be the case, drop a comment or question below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you're enjoying the channel and the content, you like looking at my smiley face, please subscribe. It would mean the world to me. I like enjoying and giving back and giving all this content to you guys. And when you subscribe, that helps support me in my career. So it means the world if you could do so. Also, be sure to hit that notification alert so you get notified every time we got new content dropping. Got new tutorials, scene breakdowns, quick tips, lighting tutorials, and so much more coming at y'all each and every single week. Don't miss the opportunity to get better. Be sure to hit that post notification and subscribe button now. And with all that being said, I will see y'all at the next one.